Hello everyone and welcome to part 3B of upgrading my AMD Compaq's graphics card. So this will be a continuation to part 3A of this series of videos on upgrading my AMD Compaq's graphics card, where I was testing this on 3D Mark 2001 SE benchmarking tool. And let's just say that the test results has so far been hit or miss, obviously. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. So stay tuned and please watch the whole video, obviously, to see what happens, obviously. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Right, back at it again, but this time we're gonna exclude all the game 1 and 2 tests, and we'll skip the lobby low detail, and we'll just do high detail for us. So let's go ahead and do that for ourselves. Let's see. Okay, so far so good. Now it locked up there at that one part, but it looks like yeah, we're getting somewhere between the average of like what, 20 to 30 frames a second for this one. Oh, down to 16. Oh, it locked up. It locked up there. It was almost about to go there, and then the card gave up. See, I gotta say, as far as these cards go, my mileage will vary as far as the condition of these things. They may look fine, but they may have problems. I mean, that's really about the gist of, anything involving retro computing and stuff. But hey, I like to experiment, because why not? So right now that is going fine. So rerun the test again. So anyway, upwards of like what, 30 to about like what? It's like 20 to 30 frames a second on average, I guess. Alright, that's going somewhere. 26, 25. 28 frames, 29, 30. Oh, so that passed. Oh, nature. This probably has hardware support, so we get to see it for the first time. We'll have to wait and see if that comes up. Game 4 nature. Oh my goodness. 10 frames a second. As far as this goes, 11 frames. But anyway, this is nature. Obviously, I know for sure the GeForce 2 and 4 don't have hardware support for this one. And I'm betting the GeForce 3 doesn't. Well, the GeForce 3 is DirectX 8, so that probably won't necessarily be an issue. Well, 9 frames a second. Oh my goodness. So we're getting similar choppiness as what we have with the previous 3 game tests, the Dragolithic, Card Chase, and Lobby. So 14 frames. So I think this one on average is like what? On average is like what? Between 9 and like what? 15 frames a second. So that's done. Now we'll do fill rate singer texturing. That's gone way faster than what it did on that GeForce 2 card. A lot better. It's similar to when multi-texturing on GeForce 2. Wow, multi-texturing is very fast on this one. It's a lot smoother. Oh my goodness. Take a look at that. High polygon count, 1 light. Let's see how this goes. Okay, slightly choppy, but hey. High polygon count, 8 lights. it's probably going to be choppy still. Well, not exactly that choppy, but it's still a little bit slower on the frame rate, but at least it's a bit faster. Environment bump mapping. Let's see how this goes. Oh, whoa, since this has hardware support, we now actually have this mode. Now, this is a mode that's not featured on that GeForce 2 card because GeForce 2 and 4 MX don't have support for that. Now we'll do .3 bump mapping. So we actually got that running. Vertex shaders, so we got that. This one's running a lot more smoother than usual, than the GeForce 2 card. Pixel shader. Obviously, this card does have pixel shaders, so and I bet the GeForce 3 has something like that too. So if I'm running this test on a GeForce 3, like a GeForce 3 Ti 200, which I would love to put on my Intel Compaq, that would probably do that well. Advanced pixel shader. Let's see if this card can handle it in the condition it is now. So that's what it looks like. Because obviously, I think a DirectX 8 graphics cards, they usually have some sort of pixel shader or something like that. Well, probably not all of them, but like, okay, point sprites. That's doing well. At least a bunch of these tests are a bit smoother now. Image quality game 1. So as far as those goes, it's doing image quality tests for the 2 prior game tests that I've excluded on this test. That loads up well. Image quality game 2, and we'll see how that handles. That's gone well. Image quality game 3, lobby. And we'll see how that goes. That runs well. And then game 4, which is nature. And we'll see how that goes for the first time on this one. Let's see. Because that one's obviously have pixel shaders and such enabled and such. That's gone well. Not enough tests run for a 3D Mark score. All game tests have to be run in order to calculate a 3D Mark score. So, since we exclude a couple tests, we don't get the overall score, obviously. So, so that means our benchmark technically isn't complete because we excluded a couple tests. Well, let's select all for the complete. Now, because of the conditions of this card, I am not expecting this to complete any sort of tests, obviously, because it will fail like halfway through or shortly afterwards. So like I run this test again. So given the condition of this card, it probably won't complete, like it'll only complete like what, like two or three numbersome tests. So like yeah, I mean if there were a better condition a card like this, obviously it would pass all the tests, and theoretically I would predict that it will have a higher score in 3D Mark 2001 SC on this with this card than the GeForce 2 MX400, obviously, as we tested. And obviously this card was kind of also giving me some issues with Windows 98, which is a 9X system, running 3D Mark 2001 SC. Like, it wouldn't even launch the test at all. It just froze the instant that I launched it. So maybe it's something up to do with the card, obviously. So oh, and even so, when I was doing the experimenting with the Intel Compaq, I had a GeForce 6200 placed in there at one point in time, and I ran 3D Mark 2001, and well, it instantly locked up on the first test when it ran the first time. But I'd be interested to see how long this will go until it would stop. Like it would stop responding, like all the graphics and stuff will lock up and freeze, and then it will give us a VPU recover error. So this is test number 4. Granted, this card has a CPU fan, but you know that's not really detrimental to whatever problem that we may have with this card, like the locking up and the freezing. But you know, oh, there it goes. It locked up and froze right there. So yeah, I can't really determine. I can't really guarantee the condition of this card. With all that locking up and freezing and such, it won't do 3D Mark 2001 SC properly well for us to give a good enough score for that. So we'll rerun the benchmark. 10 minutes, so I'll probably have to stop recording. So I ran this test off camera, and now it froze on there. So now it's gonna ask us, because now it seems to display our. Yeah. It's wanting us to do that. Oh. Yeah, our accelerator is not working. Yeah, so 3D acceleration. Oh. It was not able to detect the minimum features. What the heck? I never seen that. I never seen that. That transition. That fade transition. Obviously, when clicking that shutdown box, that's probably the first. But I shall. Yeah, I guess for this one I shall restart to Windows XP, obviously, and see if that can give us a better result. Or not. I mean, the condition of this graphics card, I probably won't guarantee that it's gonna be any better. I mean, granted, at least most if not all the cards that I have on here, they will work kinda, but like some of them may have several faults here and there, but like, you know. Obviously. Yeah. So, in a sense, I could replace this card that I have on here with another card, obviously. But that will probably come by sooner. You know, later, obviously. You know, when I have the chance and when I have the money. Oops, sorry. Just banged his tripod. Okay, now that we're here, let's test 3D Mark 2001 SC on Windows XP. This is pretty much a successor to 9X and 2000. So let's see if this will go a bit better this time or not, because I couldn't really trust this card with all the lockups and such. Game 1 card change low detail. Let's see how this goes. And it locked up there. It locked up on the third test. Like when I did it the first time on 2000. And the benchmark crashed. And it'll bring us a VP error. Yep. There it goes again. VP recover, etc., etc. Yes, yes, yes. Benchmark again. Game 1 card chase, low detail. So in order for me to get the overall 3D Mark score, I need to run all tests. But since this card was failing, obviously, because like it locked up on a couple of tests, so it was not completing almost everything. Like it'll go through like a couple of series of tests. Like it'll complete them, but then one test it'll lock up like halfway or something like that. So yeah, the stability and integrity of this graphics card in here, I shouldn't really guarantee it because like, well, I put this card in here intending for like an upgrade to my GeForce 2 MX400 that really performed well, and like, well, it performed as is, obviously, in the 3D Mark 2001 SE test. Of course, it ran choppy, but like it completed all the tests. No sweat, obviously. Went through without any problems. But with this card, this particular card that I have in here, well, it was only able to complete like the first few tests, and it pretty much like locked up like pretty much like almost frequently if I try to run the complete set of tests. But if I exclude a couple of tests, then it should be able to complete through the whole thing. But we don't get the overall 3D Mark score. But let's see. So far, so good. It seems like it's doing well for what it is. Game 3 lobby, low detail. Now, as far as these tests go, for at least the first 5 tests, it'll freeze up on either one of them. Mostly it happens on like, you know, on the Game 2 and Game 3 tests, obviously. As you can see, it's running pretty fine, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too certain on whether it will complete, whether or not it will complete all the tests, because I'm pretty certain, confident that it will lock up on. Yep. Like there. See, I was right. I am pretty certain that it'll lock up and freeze on one of the tests. So, pretty much this card can only do like what? It can only succeed like up to like what? About 3 to 5 tests. So, because it couldn't really go anywhere. If that's the case, maybe I should go into the Catalyst Control Center and see if I can adjust the settings from here, because I keep getting crashes, lockups and freezes. But let's see, as far as 3D goes, anti-aliasing, we'll have that off. I'll just use the performance. Wait for vertical refresh. Put that off. So we kind of had to adjust settings here as far as Direct 3D goes. So I applied the few settings. Display manager, etc., etc. Now I'll rerun the test with at least a few of these settings, obviously, but still I wouldn't guarantee well, the reliability of this particular Radeon 9100, obviously, because like, you know, it looks good on paper, but this is in practice. So hey guys, future me here. Sorry for the abrupt cut here, but like, I tried getting the 3D Mark 2001 SE tests running on with this card, obviously, in all 3 operating systems and whatnot. Both of them, well, they all ran the tests fine, but it would occasionally lock up and freeze on the 3rd and 4th tests on 3D Mark 2001 SE. So yeah, that's quite unfortunate, but the next part will show me just kind of foregoing all those and just doing the simplest of the tests, the basic ones. So let's just continue on with the video, shall we? Well, my friends, it has been a few days since I last took those recordings, obviously, and now that we're here with this AMD Compaq as of now, you know, the video card that I put in here isn't necessarily as fully functional as it is. I mean, I have rerun several benchmark tests under 3D Mark 2001 SE, and it just kept crashing when it kept locking and freezing up on 2000 XP when it did at least 3 or 4 tests or something like that. It would freeze up at like either the 3rd, 4th, and possibly 5th and 6th tests, obviously. So it couldn't go through the whole thing, and I couldn't get the full 3D Mark score, obviously, if I exclude some tests. But anyways, now that we're here, I figured we should probably forego those benchmarks and just do a basic tests, you know, under DirectX, you know, using diagnostic. So let's go ahead and just power this thing on for us and see what we can do about this, obviously, because this card, obviously, it's good for what it is, but it's not necessarily that functional. So I may be able to replace this card soon with another ATI Radeon card, maybe like a 9000, another 9000 series card, so maybe like a 9200 or something, because this is a 9100, which is basically a ATI Radeon 8500 LE rebranded. But you know, what else can you do? So we're launching in here, and I'll be right back when we get to the desktop. Okay, now that we're here, let's go ahead and do our tests. So we'll not be touching the 3D Mark 2001 SE or the PC Mark tests. I have done some PC Mark tests earlier off camera, and yeah, I will show you a little bit of footage of that when I did those tests. And there's the overall scores that I pretty much gotten from those tests under 2000 and XP, because 98 did work, but I had to exclude a couple of tests. Also 2000 was crashing similarly too, so I had to exclude. So that one test I need to exclude is basically this one that you're seeing right now. So, and that pretty much got through all the tests. So here's 9X, and then here's 2000, and then here's XP. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and run DXdiag. So this is just our basic testing procedures for DirectX. So we'll do direct draw, Yes. So we're doing direct draw tests, you know, and then we'll do direct 3D acceleration too. Yes. Direct draw on full screen. You know what's strange is that when I adjusted a few of the tests, a few of the stuff in the Catalyst on 2000 XP, for some reason the full screen direct draw test and direct 3D test went way faster than usual. Apparently resetting those settings to defaults kind of resolved those. But alright, direct 3D 7. Yeah, so like this one, when I adjusted the settings on Catalyst for 2000 XP, this one ran really fast. This plus both the DX8 and 9 tests. So I had to reset those back to the default settings to get us our proper speeds. But anyways, we're running the tests here. Yes. Now for DX9. I mean, there isn't really any difference within these tests. So all tests are successful. I think we could pretty much count this, you know, as a success because this card isn't really working, properly, fully functional. This is like, it's partially working as it is. I mean, we got picture, we got higher color depths, we got higher resolutions as it is. But for 3D gaming and whatnot, it's probably hit or miss. And I haven't really tested it out on some games and stuff. But I will do that off camera. But either way, let's go ahead and restart. And we'll do DX Diag under Windows 2000 Professional. Alright, Windows 2000 Professional. Like I said, I may have not said this before, but this thing is a triple booted system. So it has 3 installs of Windows on it. Windows 98 2nd Edition, Windows 2000 Professional, and Windows XP Professional, which I did modify it graphically and stuff to make it look like Windows 2000, etc. But here we are, the Windows 2000 boot screen. It went by fairly quick. You know, Windows is starting up. Press Control Delete to begin. Admin. Okay, I do need to adjust some of these icons here, because why not? I will resort those icons later, but anyways, now that we're here, let's go to a DX Diag. On here, just like we did in Windows 98, we have already done the 3D Mark 2001 SE and PC Mark tests. Well, for PC Mark tests, I've done that off screen, but off camera. But 3D Mark 2001 SE, I tried that multiple times on 2000 and XP. They all kept freezing at tests 3 and 4 and such. So we're doing the basics here, the basic testing under DirectX Diag. So we'll do direct draw as usual. So everything's pretty much going as it should. And because this OS has the Catalyst software, the control center here, I adjusted a couple of settings on those to try to give me, like, I set it to performance, and then this would speed up really fast, like way too fast. Now we can see here it's running at a normal speed. So because these are the default settings. So if I set some of the settings at least most not all the settings to like quality and such, then it would probably run like this. If it was on performance, then it would probably run faster. But anyway, yep, all tests were successful. Now to show you what I meant by those things speeding up way too fast, is I'm going to adjust the settings here. So I'll be back. Okay, so as far as here, so we'll do performance on pretty much most not all of this. So we pretty much set all those to performance, and then let us test our direct draw stuff and see what happens on these tests. See, that's running way faster now. And I do wonder what seems to be causing it. Maybe it's probably the texture things or something. Now Direct 3D. And wow, look at that. That's running way fast. It's like what I mentioned before. Adjusting those settings to performance really speeds up. It makes that run way too fast. See? What is this? Like, that's not even supposed to happen normally. And that too. Yeah. How is this? Sorry for the abrupt cut there, because my camera died because it was out of battery, and I'm having to charge it now. But I think I may have found I may have found the cause to why it was running as fast as usual. So under the Catalyst Control Center, there's an option for wait for vertical refresh, or VSync as I would call it. I don't know if vertical refresh and VSync are the same thing, but since we have that option here, right now it's at off unless application specifies, so that's the default. And then we have the option to do on unless application specifies, or use always on. So if we set that to always off, on to the far right to where performance is, and I'll apply that, minimize this, and do the direct draw tests. Now I left all the other settings set to default. I left all the other settings as is. I only changed the vertical refresh option. I set that to always off. And let's take a look at this. Yep, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at. So setting the, so it seems like turning the vertical refresh sync off causes it to run, causes these tests, like this one and the other one before it, to run way faster than usual, because there's no vertical sync happening, because it's already turned off. So Direct 3D 8 and 9, take a look. They run way faster than usual. You can see a little bit of tearing there, obviously, because we don't have VSync. We don't have vertical refresh turned on. Because this application, this testing thing specifies VSync turned on, but we don't have that turned on. So we could set that. We could set that to like always on, but we'll just leave it at default to off unless application specifies. So click OK. And I don't really want to rerun the tests again, because we have already done it before on Windows 2000. So Windows 2000 is done. Now I will go ahead and reboot to Windows XP or Windows 2002. So Windows is shutting down. Yep. So we're going to reboot to Windows XP Professional or Windows 2002 Professional, because I used a transformation pack, obviously, that that changes a lot of the XP related icons and graphics and stuff to their Windows 9X, Windows 2000 counterparts. Basically, the version of Windows before XP was released. Alright, Windows 2002 Professional. Normally that would say Windows XP Professional, but I changed the name, obviously, because of my transformation pack that I used in here, with some modifications, personal modifications that I made, like this modified boot screen here. This modified XP boot screen that replaces the XP graphic with the Windows 2002 Professional graphic with the old word mark and logo too. And we should be getting into the desktop any moment now. And yes, this does look like Windows 2000 slightly, because this text here is different, but everything else remains the same. So because this is classic logon, obviously. Windows 2000 / Millennium Edition sounds too. Just to add for that that classic look to it, obviously, just to match that. Now we'll do DX Diag. I have already run this test before off camera, but we're gonna be doing it here on camera. So test direct draw, and yeah, I'm moving the mouse around, and it's having a little bit of trouble moving because well, granted, this computer is literally sitting on the floor, so. And I'm aiming to get a table. Moved over to this spot so that I can pretty much use it, like, properly on a table, obviously. And this mouse here, it needs a mouse pad, I mean, better yet, mouse pads, obviously, I think they were originally meant for, ball mouses, more so than optical and laser mouses. That's just my thinking, because that's what mouse pads were originally made for. Anyways, getting back on topic, we're running the tests here. So everything runs fine as it is. However, if I turn, like I said before, because I've already found out the source to those being way faster than usual. So if I turn the VSync off under the Catalyst Control Center, then those tests would run way too fast. But by leaving that by the default settings of leaving it off unless the application specifies, which this one will specify VSync, then everything should be running fine. And I think under having VSync always on at all times, it would probably be the same results. All the tests are running as it should without all those unnecessary speed ups. But yeah, there we have it. So I guess that's pretty much it for this series of videos of me attempting to, as I would say, replacing my AMD Compaq's video card in here, pretty much upgrading it, and attempting to test out this card's functionalities and stuff via benchmarking and stuff. While that went well, it wasn't necessarily successful as I thought it would, because this card, through through extensive benchmarkings and stuff via 3D Mark 2001 SC, it clearly shows that this card isn't really functioning as well as it used to be, obviously. So yeah, so I'm pretty much gonna have to wrap up this video, and we'll just call it as done here for now. I'm not calling it quits, but on calling it done here for now, because like, while this card works, I mean, we got higher resolution screen resolutions and higher color depths and such, like I mentioned before. It's just that doing 3D and stuff like games that uses 3D and such, that's going to be hit or miss. So yeah, so I might be using this card for at least a little while, until maybe when it fails. Or I could just, well, I could continue using this as is, but I may have to replace it with another card down the line. Probably another ATI Radeon 9000 series card or whatever. But anyways, yeah, so I guess that'll probably be it for this video. So I guess I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this series of videos. Obviously, I know this isn't the ending that you all probably expect, because like with all those problems that we had with this card and some benchmarkings. But hey, at least it was enjoyable for you a lot, obviously, whether you're watching this series of videos or not. But anyways, yeah, so I guess that'll be about it for this video and this series of videos. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will hope to see you all in the next one. See ya. Wow, and what a good time. That was perfect timing right there. Obviously, when I was about to end this video. But anyways, yeah, so I guess I thank you guys for watching this video and this series of videos on me upgrading this AMD Compaq's video card, obviously, and trying to test it out its potential via benchmarkings and stuff. But some things don't go as well as you thought it would. But yeah, it's that saying. So like, some things don't necessarily go out well as what you thought it would. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's it. So that concludes this video and this series of videos. So yeah, so I thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. See ya.